just another nigga on the hit list. Tryna fix any issues with a bad bitch. Didn't they tell you that I was a savage? Fuck your white horse and the carriage.
Okay, so let's start this off. First, I do honestly believe Hi-Rez has lost their fucking mind when they decided to implement this new system. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and look at all the new legendaries and like how the new card system will affect all the champions. So for Vivian, very simple booby trap. If an enemy is within what 220 feet from your sensor drone, it explodes for 250 damage. It's pretty straightforward, but it's like when someone sees a sensory drone, they most likely shoot it. But it does explode for 250 damage every single time. And Droxus has Defiant Fist. What Defiant Fist does is it makes it so that if you shoot someone before you use Defiance, now it will start to stack up extra damage to it. Because Defiance at base does 700, shoot 735, 770, 805, 840. And so basically you could just stack it up and stack it up and stack it up and then go in and one shot a Sky or a Eevee. Now Ashe has Slug Shot. Weapon travels 50% faster and further and deals 12.5% more damage but no longer explodes. This card basically gives Ashe that what's it called? It's the card for Barrick, where basically his rifle now shoots a slug that does 650. It's just hers. Oh, it does burn out. It has a burnout range, but now no longer explodes if you shoot right next to him. It's not supposed to explode, but direct damage hits 450 every time. Barrick has where is it? Oh, Hair Trigger. It's just attack speed. He just shoots a little bit faster. That's all that is. It's just shooting a little faster. I don't think that's gonna outbeat Tinkering now. Bomb King, his explosion sizes are increased. And to like just show, Sticky Bomb in the middle, it hits all three. Hits all three. But if I don't choose that one, Sticky Bomb in the middle doesn't hit all three. Okay, now Buck. They keep giving him the most overpowered cards anyone has ever seen. Basically, it makes it so that Buckwild will reset its timer if you get a kill during it, and it charges 15% faster. Also, they did nerf his damage from 800 to 700, and from 4 in the magazine to 5.
That's a Kudapa Waffle Pill. Killing spree.
But it's like, I understand Buck was really out of the meta, but that doesn't mean you buff him so much that you basically steamroll him into it. It's like just raw. It's like they basically just broke in and was like, I'm here, my cock's out, deal with it. So every time you get a kill, it resets it. Doesn't matter who you kill, you have unlimited ammo, and you have increased attack speed. Not to mention your own loadout will give you your abilities back every time you get a kill. Like, what was Hi-Rez thinking, really? That is stupid. Cassie's on. I feel like Cassie's one really depends on how good you are at lining up shots. because it's made so that her crossbow does more damage the further you are away. And so you see from right here, 655, 676, 718, 781, and I think because I'm at level 1, the highest is like 813. Yeah, 813. So if you're able to line up shots well, you can do it. Now, Drogo's has Reign of Terror. Drogo's being my favorite character, superior dragon race all day. It makes it so that salvo is instant, just like Fire Spit. There is no pre-prepping it. It just shoots. Now, one thing I found out while testing it is that if you, for example, was to go ahead, I don't know why I reloaded there, I have to have an empty mag. If you are to go ahead and actually, I keep reloading instinctively. If you have an empty, keep reloading. If you shoot and have an empty magazine and then go to proc salvo, it does the old animation of having him proc it first to be ready to use, and then he shoots it. And I'll admit, I think if they intentionally left that mechanic in there, it could be potentially good. Otherwise, you know,
Two kills at the same time. That's a quadruple waffle build. That's 13. Okay, seriously?
Okay.
Only kills.
Eevee.
14 in a row?
Eevee now has Snow Globe, which Ice Storm deals 50% more damage and costs only 60% of her energy, but lasts only for 2 seconds. Now, if you're like me, I usually use Flicker for Eevee, and so I see almost no reason why it'll be something I use instead, except for the fact that, and we're gonna test this right now, if you're at 100% energy and then use your ultimate, if it only brings you down to 40, that's only 20% more to go, which means you could use her ultimate twice, which would be pretty substantial, unless it, yeah, as you're sitting there, you do it once, they start killing, you do it again. Yo, that has potential to be a little overpowered, but at the same time, not really, because I give up Flicker for it. Fernando, Flame Lance now deals small fireballs that deal 50 damage every 0.2 seconds. Basically, it's like, it just turned his steady flamethrower into Torvald's current beam. Now, and there's no range cap. Oh wow. So it's basically just like, oh, now Fernando doesn't have a limited range. Fireball him, keep it going. It's just a flurry of fireballs now. A flurry of fireballs. I will say you'll probably change the reticle so you get more accuracy with it. Grok, Spirit's Domain. Healing Totem can now be deployed at range and will heal for how much? How much was it? Creates a shield with 500 health, and that scales up with the levels, so that's potentially what I think 2,500. Level 2, 1,000. Level 3, 1,500. Level 4, 2,000, and level 5. So you could deploy it at a range, and be careful, because you see what just happened. He wasn't caught in the radius for it, and so it didn't actually heal him or give him a shield. And instead, all it really did was just put it like in front of him. It's not giving him the shield. Did I choose the wrong card? Okay. Chose the right card.
Come into my circle.
I don't know. Might be a little bugged or something. Okay. Grover. Grover has a really good card. It's Rampant Blooming. Nope, wrong one. Efflorescence. Efflorescence. Basically, it increases the area for Blossom by 50%, which is a kind of big deal because I know before you would have to be like this close to get someone with healing, but now you can be like right about here and still catch them with healing.
I feel stronger, healer.
So that's really good. They actually gave him something that might be useful. Yeah, it could go a little bit further back. You could be here and still heal them. That's pretty good. Inara. They basically gave Inara one of Ying's card where hitting all the shots from the burst would give a little bit of extra damage. And it's not that substantial. It's just a little bit more. Slight, you know, burst damage. If you're really accurate as Inara, take your places.
Buy something with these
Genos, binary star. I don't know what Hi-Res was thinking. So this is me holding it down. It turns it into a slower semi-automatic that can deal up to 600 damage per shot at level 5. Now, one thing to remember, oh man, that's just so stupid. For Kinessa, reposition. Basically, now there is no like flight time for a teleporter. As soon as you press that button, you're there. As soon as you let it go, you're there. And for some reason, sounds are really bugged right now.
This is unfortunate.
But it's instant. And if you have your loadout set up, it gives you movement speed and everything like that. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. Basically, every card you currently own, if you're a player already been playing Paladins, every card that you currently own will be automatically set to level 3. See, 3, and I don't really use heroism, so I set a 1. Every card you have is going to be set to 3, and even your loadouts. Your loadouts cards are all set to level 3. So every card you get the level 3 benefit of it, and collecting duplicates of that card will bring you up more. And I think I saw Joshino's video where he said it took 48 or 43, something like that, around the 40s. It takes 40 duplicate cards to get a card from level 1 to level 5. Now Lex's card changes in pursuit to do a percentage of your target's health, and at level 5, for someone like Fernando, it's for a tank, it is a killer because it will do so much damage, which makes it now a priority target ability. Leon's I can't really show because it just reduces the effective healing on a target from your normal weapon shots. The only thing I can show is, like, you see, that's how you know someone can't be healed. It shows the yellow goop and it shows skulls. So it lets you know that she now has the built-on cauterize. Maeve has street justice. Pounce now does 15% at level 1 of your target's missing health as extra damage per pounce. So if I hit him a couple times, 1,004. 752. It does 15% of their missing health as damage. Makoa's has, okay, it has the potential to be good or bad, depending. If you're one who relies on pluck for that extra damage, it might not be the best, but it's definitely good. Hitting someone with Dredge Anchor will reduce the cooldown if they are killed within 2 seconds. And it just, like, if you're really good at making sure to get someone low, and as they're trying to run away, you grab them, shoot them, you got it back, grab someone else, keep it going. Your teammates kill them. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to do it if they get killed by a teammate as well. Now Maldumba, this is what's going to make me use Maldumba more. Now his right click can now be cast on enemies and will deal 25% of their health as damage instead of healing them. So, like, of course, you know, when you're doing damage to someone with gourd, you can't see them through walls, but if you right click them, you can see them. And this is the trick I use with Sky as well with her poison bolts. If you right click someone, you can see where they're going, you know where they are, you can keep track of them as you're running away. Yeah, I'm not the best when it comes to the snake.
2 kills at the same time.
This is basically gonna make him be able to hold his own a lot more. Pip has mischief. Hits with potion launcher will reduce cooldowns of all your abilities. At level 5, this would be pretty broken. Cause like, let's say for instance I use that. Hits constantly reduce cooldown slowly, and if a level 5 was to get into that, it would be tremendous. Ruckus can now hold 3 charges of rockets or 3 charges of his missiles, and they deal 7.5 increased damage. Now this will be really good if you're like spinning, you're shooting, bam, bam, you see someone else, bam.
2 kills.
It's just really good for more crowd control purposes, I'd say. Ceres now has the Void Abides, which you can't show, but basically it'll heal your target and heal anyone around your target in a 50-foot radius, which makes it good for crowd healing. And that's good because if you're already a Ceres who stays back and mainly focuses the tank, that healing now has a radius around it which will heal all of your teammates too.
I should spend my credits.
I feel like Shaolin's one could have been a lot better. Impaler Arrow now explodes on contact for an additional 150 damage and knocks back all enemies in the radius, but can no longer stun. But the stun aspect of his card, or the stun aspect of that ability, was the main aspect of that card. So now a fully drawn back arrow explodes and knocks back but does not stun, which is a little discerning because it's like that was the main aspect that everyone went for when it came down to Shaolin's Impaler Arrow. It was to get that knockback so that way you could go straight up into Planted to gun them down. Sky card, okay. Smoke and dagger. Smoke screen now does 300 damage when it's deployed. That means on impact it will do 300 damage. It hits anyone caught in it, 300 damage. That's at level 1. But I also want to touch on one other thing. Preparation. They gave it a little bit of a buff. Now every kill at level 3, every kill will heal you by what, 500 health, along with giving you the benefits of reducing your cooldowns. So even if you get hurt by someone in the process of killing them, it heals you while also giving you back your abilities. Strix.
Credits to spend.
Your sidearm. Nope, not that one. Unauthorized use. Increase the projectile speed of flare by 100, increases damage by 150%, and reduces cooldown by 10 seconds. Now, if you are a person who uses Strix, you know you can use the flare to just make sure you see people. But now that flare is ready every 4 seconds without a cauterize. You're able, without chronos, you're able to shoot out one by the time the next one's ready, and at level 3 chronos it doesn't even change that. It's just stuck at level 4 seconds. Yeah, but it travels faster and straighter, which means you can just straight up snipe and shoot people with it. You be tagging them from really far and just shoot them with it. Talus. I feel like they could have made this card a little bit better. But it's not that bad. Basically, okay, let me turn that off. Basically, any enemies under 65% health will now be visible to you. That's all it really does, and it increases charge rate of ultimate by a little bit. I feel like it could be better, but for me, it's really not gonna beat out the Rage or Inner Strength, because for me, Inner Strength is the better one to go. Because the way I play Talus, you put the rune down somewhere, you go in, you're killing them, you go in, you kill them, you come back, someone's there, you got another punch and another overcharge ready to roll already. And you just gun them down, you shoot them, you kill them, along with the native healing that now comes with Rune of Travel. Terminus's card, it increases his attack speed by 10% at 1, which lets you just swing his axe a little bit faster. And no, it's not for that. It just lets him swing his axe a little bit faster. Grandpa Torvald. Now, alternating current. Nope, that's the wrong one. Thanks, Grandpa. Increase the duration of protection by 1 second. Protection grants CC immunity as well. And basically it just gives them like a little bit more survivability when they get that little shield up, so that way they don't die as easily. Tyra. I don't know if it works right now, but Firebomb now cripples enemies and deals 50% more damage. If you don't know, Firebomb does an amount of health damage as a percentage for enemies, which means now it does more damage, which should be enough damage to actually kill most people. Now let's see if it actually does have the crippling effect added to it. Oh wait, I'm stupid. Crippling only works on movement abilities. I'm thinking about Rooted. But now that it does more damage, see, she gets 141, he gets 300. Which means if a tank is stupid enough to stand on the point, he will die. Shrapnel increases the AoE damage of grenade. Basically, big explosion. A lot bigger explosion. It's huge. And just to show how much bigger, that's the normal one.
Need to requisition new equipment.
And that's the bigger one. Willow. Basically, it's something that most people don't already know, but if you hit someone with Dead Zone, it does a little bit of damage to them. It does 100. Her new card basically just capitalizes on that. And now Dead Zone deals 350 damage when it initially impacts, which means when the first hit from Dead Zone directly will do 350. Now, one key thing to note, it's not explosive, it's more direct. So if you was to hit someone with it, no one around them will get hit unless they're like bunched up together. Yang. She has Life Exchange. Shatter now instantly heals your target for 400 health per active illusion, but consumes your illusions. This will be good and bad because it will make Ying a little bit more effective at a burst heal. So like if a friend knows, you know, he's getting hurt, she is healing him, you shatter and it will not work, okay? You shatter and there was an instant 400 proc if you didn't see it. And I'm hoping that this does stack, because I'm trying to see now. Yeah, it was 2 400 proc, so it does stack up with the illusions, which are only able to have 200, which is 800. And then we have Zen. Your heavy hit passes through enemies, deals 75 more damage, and has no range limit. Which basically means you're no longer limited to how far you can snipe somebody with that last hard-hitting one. Which means you literally can shoot, and come around the corner to shoot the last one, which will always be able to reach your target. Goes faster, making it harder for them to dodge it. I mean, Jesus Christ. I thought Zen was annoying before, but if I'm way in the air and he does this and just hits me with the last one, which goes through and hits everyone, I may have an aneurysm. I thought the whole point of having the flame sword with the dying out flames was that he couldn't reach you everywhere. So that's all of the cards And the only other thing I wanted to touch on is like, let me use Drogos for example. This is the loadout I use for Drogos. Usually this would be at a level 1, which only gives 8% movement speed. This would be at level 3 where it's at. This would be at level 4, giving me 2 seconds for each enemy champion hit instead of 1.5. This would be at a 2 or a 3 for 75% thrust. And this would... oh yeah, they changed lung capacity. This would be at 1, but now they changed this, so that's a free card slot open. But basically, you reap all the benefits from every card, but your level for them has to be increased a little bit more. And that's one thing I'm a little like, okay, that's fine. So you still have normal salvo if you like normal salvo, which I do because it allows me to prime it and like lie in wait for the perfect target to hit with it instead of just like shooting it off instantly. And you can't have a Fusilier build and then have the instant rockets. That would be kind of nice. So it still is there, and it could be pretty good. It could be. It has the potential. But Reign of Terror is not going to be something I really use unless I'm like doing a build where I'm staying in the air most of the time. And the only builds like that is boosting and hybrid. Hybrid is mostly made for both Fire Spit and Salvo. And if I use hybrid, more or less I use Worm Jets instead. But that's all of the legendary cars. Let me know what you think about these new cars and the new changes in the comments below. I honestly do think Hi-Rez has lost their fucking mind when they didn't really think about the fact that all of these cards, like the whole purpose of the point system,
For some reason we're counting by odds only.
was so that the cards, you would have to sacrifice the points of some cards in order to make other ones stronger. And if they take that out, you're basically making it so that no longer like have to choose. All of the strongest cards in their deck can now be chosen, and that's kind of bad. Kind of bad on a couple of senses. For example, I want to see if I could go into the character. Did I just freeze or? Okay, I'll go into the character selection screen, and let's say, who should we use for an example? Let's use Zen, basically. Now, I didn't get a lot of cards for Zen, but I have a bunch of the good ones. And so let's say, for instance, let's see. Let's say we want to go for distance on the, oh, wait, okay. That's basic then, okay. Perfect block. Can I? Okay. Now let's say I want to go for Zen. Reduce by 60, increase distance for whirl, kills good speed. And increase duration of counter. Basically, usually there would be a 12-point limit, but now you go up to literally 25 points if all of these cards are at a level 5. And I personally don't think that's good for casual play. Like, I understand some people will argue like it gives you the freedom to mix and match however you want to, but like, let's say for main. This was the main that I would use when I was playing in OB36, I think. Either OB36, no, 38. OB38. Now, let's say, for instance, I'm not going for a build for Fire Spit, because if you know me, I always use Fire Spit. Now, I could get 60% restored on my maximum booster fuel every time I get a kill, 45% when I get a killing blow, increased repel, dropping below 30% max health will give me the reduced cooldown on thrust, as well as, I don't know why Hot Swap's at level 1 because I have that card, but it'll give me the 50%, 40 or 50% reload speed every time I hit someone with a rocket. And I really do think that's a bit much, because all of these characters, like, they can just be made to be out overpowered, and it's obvious that the veteran players are going to have a much higher advantage. 24% reload speed, blink heals you, give you the movement speed, and you have the range on blink, and you just throw in a filler card. Throw in a filler card, whatever filler card. Let's see. Bam, look at that. This would be a really, really good loadout, especially pairing it with the flicker card. And all of these are at level 3, so you reap all the benefits from it, and that's really, really stupid in so many ways. And I really think they need to like rethink about this idea that doing this would be okay, because I could get generate ammo from flask, reduce cooldown of flask, increase duration of flask, gain lifesteal on flask, and then for just a throw-in, we'll do eliminations. That will be up to 25. This will be up to either 40 or 40. Yeah, probably 40. No, 50, because they're going by 10%. 50. This increase it to a second, 1.25 seconds. This would bring it up to what, 2.5 seconds or 2 seconds, and then this will bring it up to 5 ammo every time I hit someone with explosive flask, which makes the most dangerous damage pip you'll ever see. Really, I don't say flank pip. I don't say flank pip. It's damage pip. Get it right. So all these characters can really be made out to be overpowered. Sky, for example, everyone knows about her whole nope, wrong one. Is it here? Well, everyone knows she had that moment where everyone was just stacking this card with this card, this card, this card, and this card for the speed demon Sky as soon as you stack up Nimble. And if you go for preparation, it heals you and you get all your abilities back. Come on, Hi-Res. This is the most idiotic thing you could have done for all these characters. I'll say kudos to you, because I did say a while ago that I think everyone should have more legendary cards to choose from, because some of them just don't really fit people's play style. And you guys did come through and bring more legendary cards, but at the same time, like, the legendary cards you guys gave us, questionable. Very, very questionable. I said the most questionable one is Buck Madness. Another one would probably have to be Zen's, which is what, Yomi. Another one I wouldn't say is more or less questionable. It's just like adding the fact that she now heals every time she gets a kill, and she has kill to heal, and this is at level 3 for 500, and I'm guessing it goes up to what, like 750 maybe. I'm guessing y'all was going by 125 or 150. I'm not sure, I really don't know, but it's just like, imagine that with kill to heal. That's 500 on top of another what, 900 health, which equates to 1400 health healed on her per kill, as well as she always has her abilities to go hide. No, that's no bueno. That's no bueno. I will say it's good they gave Tyra that card for Firebomb that now does specifically help that part of her kit. Shaolin's is a lot overwhelming. It's not really going to be used much. Ashes might not be used. It might be used if the person is like really like, oh, my range for Ash is not far enough. Bomb Kings will be used. Barracks might be used. Cassie might be used. Drogos probably will be used. Lex definitely will be used. Canessa definitely. Genos definitely. Inara maybe. Grover definitely. Grok definitely. Fernando maybe. Leanne definitely. Built-in cauterize. Maeve most likely. Makoa maybe, if they value that over Pluck more. Maldumba definitely will. It's a lot more crowd control, a lot more damage, a lot more survivability. Pip, maybe. It's if they decide that that is better than explosive flash slow, then the extra damage from it, because I personally enjoy the extra damage a lot more, and comboing that with the no limits on loadouts, which means Pips is going to be a lot stronger. Ruckus, if they really like his missile launcher, he might be used more. Ceres, definitely. And though you lose the range from having that one card, what's it called? Mortal Reach, you lose the 300% or 500 whatever range from it, but you gain crowd healing, which it will be a lot more useful than being able to heal from far away where no one can touch you. Skies might be used, but damage when you do smoke screen isn't that valuable. But the new preparation is definitely going to be a lot more used. Strix, it might be used a lot more depending on how much of a pistol whore the Strix player is, because I've personally met too many Strix players that run around using nothing but the pistol, because it is kind of OP, especially with the cards that reduces the recoil and the accuracy for his pistol. Not reduces the accuracy, increases the accuracy for his pistol. Talus's card might be used only if the Talus is like, it's like, I wouldn't say a low health hunter, but more like a kill stealer. It's like when someone is low enough, like if it stretches the entire map, then yeah, that's going to be a big deal if you can see them from all the way across the map because they have low health. But at the same time, I don't think I'll take that over inner strength, because inner strength is a lot more valuable, having able to do both their abilities twice. Terminus, if it goes up to how much I think it might go up to, which is like 40 or 50% attack speed, he could be really valuable because he already does a lot of damage up close. Torval, maybe. It depends on how much of a protector you have to be for your other teammates, especially your healer. Firebomb for Tyra, definitely. Grenade for Victor, definitely. Willow, no. Ying, maybe. It depends on how bad or how good the Ying is, because it might be a necessity for a Ying that doesn't really know how to focus on only putting down clones to heal most of the time, but at the same time she loses out on that damage from the shatter explosions. And then Zen's could be used, but most likely it'll be used as like a poke thing to snipe at snipers. Like you just shoot into a wall, step out, do the one heavy hit, so that way it flies all the way to that one position where the sniper is, and they'll hit them for 750. But I wouldn't really see it being used too much over Smolder, which heals you for 60% of your health over the duration of Billow. But that's all I really wanted to talk about, because I really don't think this patch should go through, and I don't even want to play on the PCS server because I know it's going to be all hell in here. So with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Let me know what you think about these new cards and the new patch notes in the comments down below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.